Welcome dear students of grade 11 Business and Accounting Studies class of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Negombo branch. Today I will be discussing with you the next part of the lesson number 4, financial statements. In our previous lesson we have discussed the important items in the profit or loss statement and how to calculate the gross profit as well as the net profit, and what items should be included in calculating the gross profit as well as the net profit. So today we are going to look at in which format we present this profit or loss statement. So here you are given with the format of a profit or loss statement. So let's look at what are the important things to be noticed in this particular statement. At the beginning of this profit or loss statement, we have to mention the name of the business. So here in the very first line, the name of the business is there. And in the next line, we have to mention what is this particular statement. So the name of the statement is given here. It's the profit or loss statement. And in the next line, we need to say for which period we are preparing this profit or loss statement. So this particular statement is prepared for the year ended 31st December and the year. So here when we are mentioning the period, it says the last date of the financial period, and it says that this statement is prepared for the year. And then you can see there is a statement in a columnar form. So here you have the first column for description, or else for to narrate what items are including here, and thereafter 3 value columns are there and all the values are named as rupees. The currency in which the items are presented is mentioned here. Then it starts with the sales figure. So you have the sales figure, and we put the sales figure in the last column here. Then we have the cost of sales. So we have to mention that we are deducting the cost of sales, and thereafter we have to mention how are we going to calculate the cost of sales. The opening stocks, purchases, the purchases related expenses, and the cost of goods to be sold is calculated in the middle column. Then once you calculate the cost of goods to be sold, from that figure we have to deduct the closing stock, and the cost of sales figure will again be mentioned in the last column. And from the sales figure we have to deduct the cost of sales figure and arrive at the gross profit, and that is also mentioned in the third column. Thereafter we have to add the other income, and some of the other income figures are mentioned, and the figures are mentioned in the middle column, and the subtotal will be taken into the last column, and that other income total is added to the gross profit figure which we have calculated here. But that figure doesn't have a specific name, and thereafter we have to deduct all the other expenses. So even in mentioning the expenses, we have to segregate them into the 4 categories. So first you have the distribution expenses, and the expenses are listed here, and the figures are mentioned in the first value column. The subtotal of this particular expense category will be taken into the middle column. Similarly, the next expense type, the administration expenses will be mentioned here, and the subtotal will be taken to the middle column. Thereafter, the other expenses, similarly, that also mentioned, the values are mentioned in the first column, and the subtotal will be taken into the middle column. Also the finance expenses, individual expenses are mentioned in the first column and the subtotal will be taken into the middle column. And the subtotals we took into the middle column. The 4 expense categories will be added again and that total will be taken into the last column. And the total of these four expense categories will be deducted from this figure. What is this figure? This is the total of gross profit and the other income, and from that figure we have to deduct the total of all other expenses and then we can arrive at the net profit figure. And for that figure we have to say that it is net profit and that will be transferred to the capital account because the profit belongs to the owners, and here we are talking about the sole proprietorship. So all the profits belong to the owner and whatever the things belongs to the owner is mentioned in the capital account. So therefore the net profit will be transferred to the capital account. So with that, let's look at the activity number 4 of your textbook, and it is in the page number 58. So you can look at your textbook, and if you look at the activity, certain figures extracted from the business of Mali is given in that exercise. So you can see there are a lot of financial items are given in that exercise, but the question asks you to calculate only the gross profit. In the first part of the question you are asked to calculate separately the cost of sales, gross profit, administration expenses, other income and all the figures separately, but I am not going to do the individual items, and straight away I have been preparing the profit or loss statement. So therefore I will straight away go to the part 2 of this question, and it asks you to prepare the profit or loss statement. So what are the items you will include in preparing the profit or loss statement? Are all the items included there? No, because in calculating the profit or loss, we will take only the income figures and the expense figures. None of the assets or liabilities or capital figures will be taken into consideration when preparing the profit or loss statement. So in this particular activity, you can see in the given figures all the items such as capital, assets, liabilities, income, expenses, everything is there. But are we going to take everything? No, because we are preparing the profit or loss statement. So therefore we have to extract only the income and expense figures from all these information given. So from that income and expense figures we can calculate the profit or loss. So if you take the first item, it is capital. Is it relevant for us to prepare the profit or loss statement? No. So we have to remove that particular item. Then it says the sales figure. Sales is 650,000. So you can see in your profit or loss statement there is a sales figure for 650,000 rupees. So before moving into that, I would like to say that when starting a question, first you have to look at what the question asks from you. In this particular activity, the question asks you to prepare the profit or loss statement. So once you see the requirement, you have to draw the format of the profit or loss statement first. Not the items, but the format first. So in that case, what is the first thing you have to do? You have to tell whose business this profit or loss statement belongs to, and it is Mali's business, and this statement is the profit or loss statement, and for which period is this business preparing this statement. That is for the year ended 31st December and the particular year is given. Then you have to draw the format, mark the columns properly. Then you can have this particular thing write down before looking at the question, because this is a fixed format. So as you know how to calculate the gross profit, all these items should be included. So you can leave some space for the purchases related expenses, and all other things can be written down prior to looking at the figures. So you can continue with the profit or loss statement after the gross profit as well. So you know after the gross profit you have the other income. So you can mention, you will be adding the other income and leave some space to mention whatever the other income figures given in the question. And after that you have to, you can say that you are deducting the expenses, and in that also you can mention the different categories of expenses by keeping some space to write down the line items. So then let's move on to the question again. So sales figure we have mentioned, it's 650 rupees. Then in the question you have the discounts received. What is that? That is an other income. So we have already set up the format and we have a separate space to put the other income. So let's go to that particular place, the other income, and there you can see the discounts received is mentioned and it is 12,000. Then the next item is the bank loan. Bank loan is a liability, so it is out of scope of the profit or loss statement because it's a liability, so we will not consider that. Then the next item is the stock as at 1st of January of that particular year. So that becomes the opening stock and it comes under the calculation of gross profit. So we have a space to put the opening stock, and here you have mentioned the 15,000 as opening stock. The next item is the commission income. Again another income. So go to the other income, go to the place where the other income is, and under that you can mention the commission income as 6,000. Then the next line item is purchases. So again it comes under gross profit calculation. So here you have a space to put purchases and it's 200,000. Then you have the carriage inward expenses, which is again a purchases related expense. So therefore it is mentioned here as 5,000. Then you have a 10% fixed deposit. So there, are we going to take the fixed deposit? No, because it's a fixed asset or as an uncurrent asset. So therefore we will not take that into the profit or loss statement. But it says that particular fixed deposit is earning a 10% interest per annum. So regardless of whether they have given the figure or not, we have to calculate that particular interest income and take it into the other income. So how much is the interest income on this particular fixed deposit? It's 6,000 because the fixed deposit is 60,000. So we can straight away go to the other income section and mention the fixed deposit income, fixed deposit interest income as 6,000 here. Then the next line item is insurance expense. So where are we going to put that? So in our format, we have a separate space for administration expenses. So under that, we can mention the insurance expenses as 12,000. So in the next line item, we have already calculated that the fixed deposit income that is given separately. So no need for us to calculate by our own because it's mentioned here. So we have already mentioned that. And the next line item, the next column in the activity, it's the discounts given. Discounts given is a distribution expense. So you can straight away go to the distribution expenses column and mention the discounts given as 5,000. Then we have the bad debts. Bad debts again, the people who do not pay their dues to the company are called the bad debts, and it is an expense again, and those are arising because of the sales. So therefore it is considered as a distribution expense. So bad debts will be taken under this particular category, and we have mentioned it as 9,000. Then we have the administration salaries. So it comes under administration expenses as mentioned as 40,000. Then we have the sales promotional expenses, again relates to distribution expenses. So we have the sales promotional expenses here as 60,000. Then the next one is interest expense on bank loan. So what is that particular expense? To which category it belongs? It belongs to the financial expenses. So here we have a separate space to mention the financial expenses, and under that we can mention the bank loan interest as 6,000. Then we have the bank charges, again comes under financial expenses, and it is 2,000 mentioned here. Then we have the trade debtors. Are we going to take them? No, because they are current assets. Then we have the buildings. Again, we do not consider that because it's a non-current asset. Then we have the stationery expenses. Again, an administration expense. So under this category, we can mention the stationery expenses as 8,000. Then we have the cash balance. Are we going to take that? No, because cash is a non-current asset again. So we will not take that. And the last item is losses from cash frauds. It comes under other expenses. So under that we can mention the loss of cash as 2,000. So after the line items, there is another statement saying all the goods purchased have been sold. So are there any closing stocks? No, because all the goods have been sold by the end of the year. So therefore the closing stock value is 0 here. Now we have put all the line items into the format. Now what do we have to do is to do all the additions and subtractions and find out the final figures. So first we will start with the cost of sales. We can add the opening stocks, purchases and purchases related expenses together and find out the cost of goods to be sold, and from that we have nothing to deduct as closing stocks. So the same figure will be the cost of sales, and once we find out the cost of sales, we can deduct that from the sales figure and can find out the gross profit value. After that, we have some other income. We have to subtotal the other incomes and can get the subtotal and can add that subtotal to the gross profit figure here, and the total we can put here. Thereafter we can go to the individual expense categories and subtotal each separately. So here you can see the subtotal of distribution expenses here, subtotal of administration expenses here, subtotal of other expenses here, subtotal of financial expenses here. Then you have to add all four together and take the total of other expenses. Total of all the expenses. So once you get that figure, we can deduct that figure from the total of gross profit and the other income figure which we have arrived here. So finally, we will end up with having the gross profit figure here, net profit figure here, and that will be transferred to the capital account. So that's how we are preparing the profit or loss statement. And in the next section we will be discussing about the statement of financial position. So that will be discussed in the next video presentation. So thank you very much and may God bless you all.